Hi, and welcome to my channel. Or if you're a returning subscriber, hello again! It's so nice to see you back here for another video. My name is Tess Lark, and this is an art and beauty channel, so if those are videos you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed because I'm here for you every single week. And this week, I'm going to show you how to use silica gel to preserve flowers to make these really pretty floral wall hangers. Alright, I'm back. Did you miss me? I hope you guys have all had an incredible holiday season. I know that I did. It was really nice to just spend some time with family, hang out with my kiddo, hang out with my boyfriend, and do like one or two last gathering things before I recede back into my little hole, because it seems like the pandemic that shall not be named is picking up again. So yeah, I'm really happy that I got to spend some time with some families. I know that this time of year can be really hard on a lot of people, and you know, I hope that you guys are all hanging in there and doing okay. So for today's project, I'm really excited because I've had this bag of silica gel sitting around my little workspace for a while now, and I've been waiting to use it. I think that the biggest difference between using silica gel versus pressing flowers is that it's best to use silica gel for flowers that are bigger or rounder or don't lay down as flat naturally as some other flowers. Like if you think about things like baby's breath, violets, even daisies, to an extent they're pretty flat, so it's kind of easy to go ahead and press them. But things like roses or sunflowers or orchids, even things that are a little bit more structural and also like contain more moisture, I think it's probably better to use silica gel. So I was really excited to try this out. I think this project turned out super cute and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's hop right into this video. But before we do, if you do like this video, please don't forget to give it a like. It not only helps out my channel a whole lot, but it also lets me know that I'm making content that you want to see from me. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe for engagement, do all that good stuff. As always, I'll have the materials that I used for this project linked down below in the description, so if you want to try this for yourself, all of that information will be down there for you. And yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into this project. So for today's project, I'll be using some flower drying silica gel, and I went ahead and put some of that in a Tupperware container and also in another cup. And I've got my flowers and I'm gonna just place them in there stem side down. I try to kind of cut them as close to the base of the flower as I could. And then after I have my flowers arranged, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour some silica gel on top of them until they're completely covered. And then right on top of that first layer, I added a couple pieces of greenery, and I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process and pour some silica gel on top of them until they're covered. And then I closed up my container and waited about 3 days for my flowers to be completely dry. And after a couple days, when my flowers are dry enough to work with, I went ahead and started to mix my resin. And I'm using a 2-part epoxy resin, so half of it will be resin and half of it is hardener. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. And again, I will go ahead and list all the materials that I used down below in the description, so that'll all be there for you. And I mixed up about 100 milliliters of resin, and you'll see here I'm just going to use a popsicle stick and slowly mix the resin, scraping the sides and the bottom of my container until the resin is completely clear. It gets a little bit cloudy when you start to mix it, and then when it's fully mixed, it turns clear again. And the gardeners are here for the apartment complex, so I'm sorry if it's kind of loud in the background. But after I've mixed my resin, I'll let it sit for a few minutes and then hit it with my heat gun just to pop any bubbles that have risen to the surface. And next I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of this resin into my mold. And then hitting that with a heat gun once more before I start to layer in my flowers. And I'm putting my flowers in face down because the bottom of this mold is going to be the top, if that makes sense. And then after placing my flowers, it's time to go in with one more layer of resin and just try to make sure that everything is submerged. And then I decided to just add a little bit of this Pinata Colors brass, which has this lovely gold finish. And my little dropper is pretty clogged, so I ended up taking off the cap and just carefully pouring a bit in. And then I'm just using a bit more of this clear resin, hypo, to both push the color through and to make it so the gold isn't as together, so I'm breaking up the gold a little bit. And then once more with my heat gun to pop any bubbles and also to break up that gold a little bit more. And then I will cover up my project to make sure it doesn't get any dust in it and let it cure for about 24 hours. Okay, and so I did end up going ahead and pouring another clear layer on top of this just to make sure that everything was completely covered and submerged. And I let that layer cure overnight so it's nice and hard. And let's just pull it out of the mold and see how it turned out. It's super pretty. I love the gold in here. I kind of wish that this gold wasn't as blobby, but it's still very, very cute. And then my last step is going to be just to go ahead and drill a couple holes in here so I can use some twine to make a little hanger, and then this will be all set up. So to do that, I'm going to be using my rotary tool, and I just have this little metal tip on here. And so I'm going to be using that to make the holes to then put my twine through. Just wanted to mention again that you should absolutely be wearing safety goggles when you're doing this. I just couldn't find mine and was pretty impatient. But please, please do not do as I do as I say, wear eye protection. Okay, so now that I've drilled these little holes, it's time to just take some of my twine here and make it so it's a little hanger. And I made the holes kind of close together, so I'm just going to take about 6 inches, maybe 7 of this twine, cut it off, and then just pushing it through that hole there. I'm going to tie that off. And then through the other hole. I'm going to tie this end off. Oop. Lost it. There we go. I'm going to make sure those are super tight, and then I'm just going to cut off this extra thread. Alright, and then our cute little wall hanger is all ready to go. And so that is it for me this week, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it inspires you to go ahead and make something of your own today. If you did make it all the way to the end, leave me... I'm like knocking everything over, sorry. But if you did make it all the way to the end, first of all, thank you so much. It really does help my channel out a whole lot, and I really appreciate you being here. It does take me like quite a bit of time to think of concepts, film them, edit them, and then get them up here. So you guys watching to the end really does mean the world to me. And leave me a flower emoji in the comments so that I know that it's real. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.